Hi, I'm Jennifer Boyer. I am your new Gallatin County Commissioner, and this is my first weekly update for the Commission. So thanks for tuning in. I'm super excited to share the events of the week, and also just want to share that these first 4 weeks of work for me have really been fabulous, and I'm so thankful to the staff and my fellow commissioners who have made the transition really seamless, and we should all be really thankful for how dedicated everyone here is at Gallatin County. We are in very good hands. A little bit about me, though, if you didn't get a chance to know me over the past several months. My background is in natural resources and conservation, and I've been a facilitator doing collaborative processes and problem solving with local communities throughout the region for the last 25 years, including a lot of land use and growth policy work with communities and local governments. I've also served on our planning board and board of adjustments for the last 6 years. So those experiences, I think, have really helped me move into this position, and I'm super excited to be here. So in addition to a lot of meetings and tours of our detention center, the Farm Bureau building project, and making a trip down to West Yellowstone, I've had the great pleasure of meeting with all our department heads and other staff and really getting into the nitty-gritty of some of the programs and initiatives that are underway in the county and delivering good services to folks no matter where they live. So it's been a really good start. This week, I want to share a couple of highlights. At our commission meeting this week, we advanced the Belgrade Parks, Trails, and Recreation District. So this is a new district that Belgrade is initiating, and this has come out of decades of community conversation and identified need to create more opportunities for youth and families, visitors, as well as their student population in Belgrade, creating more outdoor recreation, trails to connect neighborhoods to parks, as well as an aquatics center. So what was before us is sort of 3 items. The first was an initiative to create the district. So this will then go to the voters, and that district is the jurisdiction of the Belgrade High School. So because the district is outside the boundaries of Belgrade, it also requires an interlocal agreement with Gallatin County to administer that district, because it includes county lands as well as Belgrade lands. So the interlocal agreement was part of that process. And then finally, there'll be a bond measure before the folks in that district for an aquatics and recreation facility. So those 3 parts are complementary, and they need to work together, and they were all before the commission this week. We heard public comment in favor of this initiative. We also heard some public comment that was concerned about the tax implications. And again, this will be before the voters in that district to decide about the creation of the district, as well as the bond measure to support an aquatics and recreation facility. So great work on behalf of Belgrade, pulling that all together and bringing it to us, and we look forward to seeing how that turns out. This another item on the agenda that might be of interest to folks was a zone map amendment. So essentially about 300 acres that was currently unzoned petitioned to be included in the Four Corners zoning district. And the parcel that was interested in the inclusion is actually near Elk Grove. So initially, when that zoning district was created, that parcel was included. And because of the use of the parcel at that time and the development patterns that we were seeing in the region, ultimately that area was left out of the zoning district. With the amount of change that we're seeing in our community, the landowner was interested in becoming part of the zoning district and looking for opportunities for a change of use in the future for that parcel. The planning board unanimously supported or recommended approval, and the commission also approved that in our meeting unanimously. What's really important in that decision is that it provides an incredible amount of predictability of the types of uses and the types of development pattern and the density and so on that would be appropriate for that parcel. Right now, unzoned, there is less predictability around what might be its future. They also are in the process of petitioning and becoming part of the Four Corners Water and Sewer District and having service for those community services. And so that really also allows a level of support for our water resources and infrastructure development. So that was another important decision that happened. Couple other meeting outcomes this week. We had a great meeting with the team, with HRDC and other team members that have been contracted by the county to help us through sort of a process, a public process to determine how might development on the rest home that includes affordable housing and childcare move forward. So as you're aware, we've had numerous public meetings over the past several months, and we're at a point now taking that public input, understanding the constraints of that property, working with Bozeman to think about what will fit within their zoning regulations and different land use direction, what might be the opportunities there. So we're creating a proposal to send out to solicit bids of folks that are eligible to take us through the next step. So that will be going out in the next 3 weeks, I hope. And once we have that RFPQ, a request for qualifications, that will become public. Firms and agencies will put a packet together saying this is our experience, this is how we might approach this project, and they'll bring those back to the county. The county will score those and then award a contract to help us through that next level. And that's where we will get into specific designs, thinking about how it's going to be compatible with existing neighborhoods, thinking about how it's going to integrate with traffic and safety and parkland. So all those details really come at this next phase. So that is really exciting that we're at that part, and hopefully 3 weeks we'll be making that determination or releasing that. Yesterday we had a meeting regarding the Triangle Trail Plan. So our Triangle Trail Plan is focused on the area between Belgrade, Four Corners, and Bozeman, and work to identify what sort of multimodal transportation network paths, trails, separated commuter ways are most important to connect neighborhoods to facilities and our community centers in that area. So it's been on the books for a year, and we had a check-in to see how it was going. And overall, we want to report that it's going well, and it's great to be at the implementation point. But we also kind of looked at it and said, how can we improve it? How can we make sure that it's really clear, both to our community members, but also to developers, and kind of had a workshopping session on improvements, and then also are there efforts that we can do collectively to kind of fill in the gaps with some of these different trail systems or commuter pathways. So we had a really productive meeting. GVLT was at the table, so was Belgrade and Bozeman and Gallatin County, and so it really is showing ongoing commitment to make sure that is successful, and we're really excited about that. Later on today, we're going to have an update on our EMS services. So we have contracted with a consulting group to kind of assess our current ambulance services around the county, look at how it's functioning throughout the different districts and different communities, whether that's Bozeman or Three Forks or West Yellowstone, and to sort of come back with some recommendations about how we can ensure that we have adequate coverage, we have financial stability, and just good service provided throughout. So this afternoon we're going to get an update on that process, and we look forward to sort of hearing next steps. But that should be wrapping up in the next few months, hopefully, and then we'll move forward with enacting that. Next week, at our commission meeting, we will open our application for our open lands other eligible projects. So we have part of the Open Lands Board has a fund that we offer as grants for other eligible projects. So it may not be buying a conservation easement, but maybe it's implementing a trail system, or maybe it's doing an improvement on a park. So there's all these other supportive projects that need a little helping hand, and so this fund, I think it's about $400,000, is available for community partners to put in applications, and then we review those, and they're ranked, and they come back as recommendations for funding. So that will happen next week. We'll announce that. And also next week on our agenda, we have our final hearing on advancing the urban transportation district. So again, this is taking our streamlined bus service and moving it from the House of HRDC into an urban transportation district, which will allow us to continue to get federal funding and operate that system across our area, which includes Belgrade, the county, and Bozeman. So super excited to do that. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was great to deliver this update. Encourage you to reach out and connect with the commission, join our meetings, email, and have a safe weekend, and hopefully we get to enjoy some more snow. Take care.